Yes. Good morning, guys. Good morning, guys, and welcome back. So this is second demo session for this batch, right? So we had our first demo session on Saturday, and today is the second session. So now where are we, guys, with respect to the concepts? I discussed what are the career prospects. We discussed some agenda items for in the demo session, right? We discussed some topics for the demo, isn't it? Now, what is performance testing? I think I did not cover that, isn't it? So let me go here. So this is the agenda for this demo sessions. So I'm done till now. I think I'm done till here, right? And now, what are the scripting scenarios to cover in the training? I think I already explained this one also in the last session, isn't it? And I have shown you the spreadsheet as well. So I will cover 4 to 5 demo applications and one real-time application with each tool. Okay, with each tool. When I say each tool, with LoadRunner, I will cover all the 4 to 5 applications and one real-time application. And for JMeter as well. So with JMeter as well, I will cover all the 5 applications as well as one other real-time application. So these are the scripting scenarios that I am going to cover in the training. Now the next one is what is performance testing, right? Now let us discuss what is performance testing, and I'll show you one demo script as well. So before that, I want to show you something. What are the software required for performance testing? Okay. And what is the required system configuration? What is the required system configuration? So first of all, let me show what all software you need for performance testing. So I have a separate slide deck for this. I will share this to you. Those who confirmed your joining, I will share this. So most of you install Zoom meeting and you are joining from your system, right? Everyone. If anyone is joining from mobile, so please start joining from a laptop or a desktop. Clear, guys? How many? Is there anyone who joined through mobile today for today's demo?
Today I joined from mobile, Pawan. We doesn't have power today, so I joined from mobile.
Okay. So other than that, everyone joined through a laptop and you install Zoom meeting, right, everyone?
Yes, Pawan.
Okay. And next thing is like Notepad++. So everyone install Notepad++ on your machine. Okay. So by default, you will have only Notepad, isn't it? On Windows operating system, you will have only Notepad by default, isn't it? But you will not have Notepad++. Can everyone please do this? Download and install Notepad++. Please do this, guys. Everyone, please do this. One of you, please share your screen. Those who joined through laptop, please share your screen. And those who don't have Notepad++, please share your screen. Guys, please make it fast. When did I stop recording, guys? I'm recording. So this is the minimum system configuration for attending this training, guys. So if you have i3 also, that is fine. But make sure that you have at least 8 GB RAM. This is important, guys. Because Zoom meeting will take around 500 MB to 1 GB RAM. And then once we start JMeter, right, you need to install Java, and JMeter will take at least another 1 GB RAM, right? And if you want to run any sample application, that will take another 500 MB to 1 GB RAM on your system, right? So if you are having 4 GB RAM only, your system will become slow. And if you want to run MySQL, it will consume another 1 GB. If you want to run MySQL server, database server on your system, it will consume another 1 GB RAM. Any queries here, guys? I'll take a pause here. Any queries?
No, sir.
That you should system. And these are the software required for this performance testing training. Okay, not Dynatrace and Splunk are optional, guys. But these are important. Okay, till here. I'll share this sheet with you, and I'll share the required software, all the required software, and I'll make it install on your machine. I'll make you to install on your machine. Okay. Recently, I heard that like many other institutes are installing the software and giving it to the student. No, that is not the right way, right? I feel that is not the right way. So you should know how to install JMeter or how to install Java, or how to set up JMeter on your machine, right? So you should be able to do that on your own, right? I will share the software and I will make you do it on your own. Clear, guys? And now where are we, guys, with respect to the concepts? So we understood what is what is the difference between public IP and private IP, guys? Now everyone knows what is a public IP and what is a private IP. How to check them? How to check the public IP and private IP? Everyone knows that now.
Yes, Pawan.
Okay.
Yes,
Now
yes,
what is the difference between public IP and private IP? So public IP, how to check public IP? So open any browser and type what is my IP.com, right? And it will show you your public IP. Guys, so what is the difference between public and private IP? Anyone?
Private IP, we will communicate within the same network, whereas public IP, we can communicate outside the network as
well. Right. Okay. So let me rephrase it or let me elaborate it.
Okay.
So private IP means each device connected to, first of all, let us discuss public IP. So public IP means the IP address with which we are visible to the external world, right? That is public IP. And whoever is connected to Wi-Fi, right? So, you will have one public IP, one unique public IP. And now let's say you have, one laptop connected to your router and one more smartphone and, two laptops. Let's assume there are two laptops connected to the same network. Now each laptop should have a different IP address, right? Yes or no? Or even for that matter, smartphone also will have an IP address. Now each device connected to that router should be uniquely identified, right? Yes or no, guys?
Yes.
Now each device, how it will work is each device will have this unique private IP. Each device connected to your router, each device means each laptop or a desktop or each smartphone, they will have a unique IP address within the network. Okay. This IP address is applicable within the network to identify the systems connected to the same network, right? So this is private IP. Public IP means the IP address with which this network is visible to the external world. That is public IP. Is it clear now? What is the difference between public IP and private IP? Yes, yes or no, guys?
Yes.
Public IP, and you can check it if you want. Okay. So you can check, like, suppose you have two laptops, at your home. Office laptop and another one is personal laptop. Or else if you have one desktop and one laptop. Okay. Or else least case, you will have, one laptop and one smartphone also, right? So your smartphone will have a separate IP address, private IP, and your laptop will have a separate IP. And both of these will have same public IP. Public IP will be same if you are connected to Wi-Fi. If you connect your smartphone to your router or to your Wi-Fi, right? It will have the same public IP. Okay. Open a browser on your mobile and type the same URL. What is my IP.com? You will see the same public IP for both laptop and your smartphone. Okay, you can do this after the session so that you will understand, what is the difference between public IP and private IP. Clear, guys? Any queries before we move to the next concept?
Clear, sir.
Okay. Now the next concept is what is IPv4 and IPv6. Suppose if you observed here, so it is showing as, somewhere it is showing as IPv6 and this is IPv4, isn't it? So what is this IPv4 and what is IPv6? And one more thing, if you want to see the public IP also, let me try this command. I think we can see the public IP also here. ipconfig/all. Somewhere it should show that, public IP also somewhere here. Does it show, guys? Anyone have that idea? ipconfig/all means it will give a lot of information. It is showing the host name or computer name. This is my host name or computer name or my laptop name. Okay. And it is showing MAC address. I think this is the MAC address, physical address. right? And then somewhere we should be seeing what is the public IP, guys? 171.61, 138, 105. No, it's not showing. Okay, okay, it is not showing up here. But you see here IPv4 and IPv6, right? So what is the difference between IPv4 and IPv6, guys? You see here, it is showing IPv4 as well as IPv6 address. So IPv4 is nothing but version 4, guys. Okay, right? IPv4 is version 4, right? IPv6, but you see a different IP address. So I'll give you an analogy. If you remember, all our mobile numbers started initially. So when we have IPv4, what is the purpose of IPv6? That you need to know, right? First of all, what is IPv4 and IPv6? IPv4 means version 4 and version 6, right? This is my IPv4 address. This is my private IP currently. Okay, let me mark it down. Yes. And what is my IPv6 address, guys?
171 dot.
It is the IPv6 address. You
Okay,
have
sorry,
big
this one.
IPv6 address, isn't it? 2401 blah blah blah. Temporary IPv6 address and IPv6 address. Let it be. So basically that is not important. So we need to understand what is the difference between IPv4 and IPv6. And why when we have IPv4, why IPv6 came into existence, right? So if you observe here, IPv4 will have 4 number series separated by dots, isn't it? But whereas IPv6, right, you will have colons and there will be 8 set of numbers, isn't it? This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, isn't it? And they are separated by a colon. Now, when we have IPv4, initially we used to have only IPv4, but later on IPv6 came into picture. WWW or World Wide Web Consortium, right? They have introduced this IPv6 address. The reason being, all the IPv4 addresses are, occupied, or all the IP, these numbers are not sufficient. That's why they have introduced this IPv6. To give you a real world analogy that everyone knows, if you remember, initially our mobile numbers used to start with number
9 only.
9.
9.
Yes. So all the mobile numbers started with number 9, right? Now, once all the numbers, possible numbers, all the permutations and combinations with that 9 are over, right? All the series is over, exhausted. They introduced 8 series, isn't it? Mobile number starting with 8 series or 8, number 8, and then 7, and then 6, isn't it? So in the same way, here also all the IP addresses got exhausted with IPv4. That's why World Wide Web Consortium, WWW, right? What is that WWW? World Wide Web. WWW stands for World Wide Web. So consortium, right? They have introduced this IPv6 address. Clear, guys? So that is IP. That is this IPv4 and IPv6. And now, what is the host name? What is meant by host name?
The computer name.
Host name is nothing but computer name. And how to check your host name? How to check your computer name? Open any command prompt and type. Open any command prompt and type. Simply type host name. Okay, and it will show you your system name. This is nothing but your system name, which you can change it, right? This is my laptop model basically. That was given by default by the one who installed the operating system. And you can change it. You can change the host name. Where can we change this? You can change it here if you know, right? Go to this PC properties and here you can rename the PC. Clear, guys? My current PC name is Dell XPS 7590 and you can rename your PC by giving some other new name. Clear, guys? Now that is nothing but your host is nothing but computer and host name is nothing but your computer name. And now what is LAN and WAN? The next concept that you need to know is LAN and WAN. Now what is LAN and what is WAN?
Local area
Wide
network.
area network.
LAN stands for local area network, WAN stands for wide area network. Most of you know that, right? LAN and WAN. Okay, so we'll discuss the remaining computer fundamentals tomorrow, guys. I want to cover, what is performance testing. Okay, for this demo session purpose, I also want to cover what is performance testing. We'll discuss the remaining computer fundamentals tomorrow. I named this one as KYC, know your computer. Of course, I know that KYC stands for know your client, but as that letter is matching, I used it as know your computer. Okay, now what is our performance testing? Anyone? So what is performance testing? Okay, so to understand that, so first let me explain what is functional testing, and performance testing is also called as, hold on 1 second. What is performance testing? Anyone who watched my previous demo sessions? Performance testing is a
non-functional testing.
Non-functional testing to, yes, for what? What is the purpose of that non-functional testing?
To test the stability, scalability of the
To determine speed,
application.
first speed,
Speed,
second
scalability.
response time, right?
Yeah.
Speed, yes,
Scalability and reliability.
scalability and reliability. So performance testing is a non-functional testing. Now, what is functional testing? To understand non-performance testing, first let us understand what is functional testing. Yes. What is functional testing, guys?
Test the functionality of the application.
Right. Testing the functionality of the application. Right. What is meant by testing the functionality? Okay. Let me quickly take some example. We are running out of time. So let's say, some team is testing this Gmail application. Okay. Now, the moment, once you enter the URL of Gmail, gmail.com, and you hit enter, you should get this page, right? This is the functionality of Gmail. So you should get a prompt where, you need to enter your email ID or phone number, isn't it? Now, so here you're supposed to enter either your Gmail ID or phone number and click next, isn't it? Now what should happen? The moment you click next, what should happen, guys?
Password page.
So
It goes to home page.
right, we had input our email ID and then click next. Then what is the expected output?
Password. Enter your
Password page.
Application should ask for the password. Give me a moment, isn't it? Am I audible, guys? So once you, am I audible now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Once you enter a email address, right? So if it is a valid email address, it should ask for a password. It should prompt for your password. If it is not a valid email address, yes. If it is, suppose I enter some junk characters like this. Okay. Enter some junk characters like this, some special characters and junk. Is this a valid email address?
No.
Right. So
No.
this is a valid email address, obviously, right? Now, what should happen now if you click on next?
Invalid. It should say invalid email.
The application should display some error message saying that, see, observe here, it is displaying an error message saying that could not find your Google account, right? It should display some error message, isn't it? So this is the functionality of this Gmail application, isn't it? Now testing this functionality, if you are, so that is testing the functionality of the application, that is called as functional testing. Clear, guys? And if you are doing that functional testing manually, that is called as manual testing. As simple as that, right? If you are testing the functionality manually without using tool, testing the functionality of the application, of any application, manually without using any tools, manually without using any tool is called as manual testing. But if you are, if you develop some test script, automation test scripts, and you use some tools like Selenium, etc., right? Selenium is the most popular tool. There are many automation testing tools, but Selenium is the single most popular tool which has major market share. And Selenium is the most powerful tool. Okay. There are a lot of other automation tools, but none of the tools are are successful. Okay. Clear, guys? So if you are using any tool like Selenium, right, for testing the functionality or for doing this functional testing, if you are using any tools like Selenium, etc., that is called as automation testing. Clear, guys? And these are all functional testing. Both of these fall under functional testing. Let me quickly show you one diagram where I have differentiated this functional testing and non-functional testing. Right? You see here under functional testing, this unit testing, integration testing, system testing, acceptance testing, all these come under functional testing. Clear, guys? And again, functional testing is divided into two types, or classified into two types: manual testing and automation testing.
Okay.
Coming to non-functional testing. So non-functional testing is defined as a type of testing to check the non-functional aspects like performance testing, security testing, usability, reliability. All these comes under non-functional testing. Okay. Performance testing is one of the non-functional testing. Clear, guys, everyone? Performance testing is one of the non-functional testing types.
Okay.
Apart from this, there are a couple of other non-functional testing like security testing, usability, compatibility testing, etc. So performance testing is a non-functional testing to determine an application speed, stability, scalability, and reliability. Now, is this definition clear, whatever I gave here? Non-functional performance testing is non-functional testing to determine or to find out or to determine speed, stability, scalability, and reliability of any application. Of any application. When you say any application, it can be a web application or
Desktop.
right. It can be a desktop application or a mobile application.
Mobile application.
Right. So we do performance testing for web applications, mobile applications, as well as desktop applications as well. Clear, guys? That's why I mentioned any application. Clear, guys?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'll stop it here for today and we'll continue tomorrow. So what are the reasons, 4 major factors? We'll discuss elaborately what is speed, what is stability, what is scalability and reliability. And then we'll discuss, performance testing at a high level. And what is the process? What is the process to do performance testing at a high level? And what is the importance of doing performance testing at a high level? Right? We'll discuss these concepts tomorrow. Okay. Just to give you some brief idea, like suppose you are trying to place an order on Amazon or Flipkart, right? Or else you are trying to place an order on some other website, some other online shopping application like Amazon or Flipkart or JMeter or something else. And you want to buy a product, you want to buy some mobile or a laptop online, right? Or else you are trying to place an order on a Dell website. Let's say you want to buy a laptop and you went to Dell or Lenovo website, isn't it? Any of these websites, and you have chosen the laptop model and you added to cart and then you purchase the laptop. You entered your credit card or debit card details and right. So you selected some product, add to cart, you did an add to cart. And then you entered your credit card or debit card number, right, while making the payment. Now, what if, so once you enter your payment details, you expect, a confirmation message, isn't it? That payment is received and order has been placed successfully. Yes or no? Yes or no? Guys, am I audible, guys? Everyone is on mute. Okay. You enter your credit card or debit card details. What do you expect whenever you are making some online purchase?
Successfully
Your
order
order
completed.
Confirmation
order
that
placed successfully.
Right. We expect a confirmation message saying that the order has been placed successfully, right? And it will be shipped on so and so date, and you will receive on so and so date, right? Now, what if you are not getting the response after making the payment? You entered your credit card details, you entered your OTP and all, but you are not seeing your confirmation message. You are not displaying any confirmation message. So what would be your thought process, guys, at that time?
we get tensed.
Huh?
Server may be slow.
What is that?
Server may be slow at
Server may be slow.
Yeah, there may be a number of reasons, but will you be happy with the purchase? With
No.
the purchase, you are not seeing any confirmation message, right? You may be receiving the order after some days, but the moment you place an order and make a payment, if you don't see that confirmation message, would you next time if you want to buy some other product, will you go to the same website?
No, we will
No.
change the website.
Obviously no, right? So you'll go for some other, you'll go to some other e-commerce application, isn't it? You'll go for some
Yeah.
other e-commerce application the next time if you want to place an order, right? So maybe your order is placed, but it is not displaying that confirmation message, or you took 5 to 10 minutes to display the confirmation message. Let's say it took 2 minutes or 5 minutes to display the confirmation message. So definitely any user will not be happy with that kind of experience, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Isn't it? Now, so this is the reason, performance testing is very important. So even though, you may get the response after 2 minutes or 3 minutes, but definitely that will impact the user experience very badly. It will have an adverse impact on the user experience, and that business may lose that user, isn't it? Next time when you
Yes.
want to buy something, suppose let's say, you face some bad experience while placing order on Flipkart. So next time when you want to buy some product, you will definitely not prefer Flipkart, but you may go to for some other e-commerce application like Amazon, isn't it?
Yes.
Right. So,
Yes.
so that is why application performance is important. Any application, whether it is a web application or a desktop application or a mobile application, you may be placing some order on mobile app as well, isn't it? Now, if you're a mobile, if you are not getting proper response from the server or on time, right? Within the, the SLA, response time SLA, right? Now, what is SLA? Response time SLA,
Service level agreement.
right? So, response time SLA. So, response time SLA. So, each page will have certain SLA, where SLA stands for service level agreement. That means I'll give some examples, just some examples. These are not, standard numbers. I'm just giving some examples. Let's say home page of any application should load in 2 seconds, and login should not take more than 3 seconds. These are some response time SLAs. Okay, once you make a payment, right, it should not take more than, let's say, 4 seconds, right? There will be each page, any application in each page in any application will have certain response time SLAs. That means homepage should not take more than, I'm just giving some examples, guys. Homepage should not take more than 2 seconds. Login should not take more than 3 seconds. Whenever you make some payment and place an order, right, it should not take more than 4 seconds, something like this, right? So if you want to see whether the application is meeting these response time SLAs, we need to do performance testing. That is the first and foremost thing. That is the first and foremost thing, foremost important factor to do performance testing, right? To determine speed. When I say speed, nothing but response time. What is meant by response time?
In how many
Application
seconds
takes
the
time for
page
the
will load.
transaction.
Right. So once we submit a request, right? Once we submit a request in the browser, so or in the browser or a mobile app, how much time it is taking, server is taking to show the response? That is nothing but your response time, isn't it? Now, every application, every transaction will have certain SLAs, and we will measure the SLAs, or we need to measure the response time of each transaction. That is the first and foremost factor for doing performance testing. Okay. And how do we do performance testing? I'll cover that tomorrow at a high level. Okay. I'll explain what is meant by critical business flow or important business flows of the application. What is meant by this target user load or predefined concurrency, and how do we validate this, what is the main objective of doing this performance testing, and what happens if we don't do performance testing. Clear? So we'll discuss all these concepts at a high level tomorrow in tomorrow's session. I'll stop it here for today, and let me pause recording. Any queries, guys, before I pause recording?
Yeah, Pawan, how can you access these videos?
I will share it once you confirm your joining. I will share this PPT. I'll share this PPT and PDF, the required PDFs, documents, and all those. I will be sharing that.
Yeah, okay, sure.
Okay. I'll share this PPT software and sample applications required for this performance testing. I'll share all this. Who is this? Kaza, is it Kaza? Okay. Any other queries, guys, before we close? Maybe I'm having some internet issues. Seems like some internet issue on my side. Any other queries, guys, before we close the session for today? Please make it fast. It's already 10:10.
No, nothing.
All right then. So as again, let me repeat. So the first 10 days will be like we have to accommodate this time, that is 9 to 10. And in this first to 10 to 15 days, it may be like 10 to 15 days. The performance testing fundamentals will be completed. This PPT will be covered. Performance testing fundamentals PPT will be covered, where I will be covering what are the different types of what is performance testing, what are the different types of performance testing, and then we'll have some quick assessment, right? And then, so I'll show you some graphs and you need to identify what type of test is this. And then what is, I think I already covered this too. Okay, so I will revisit this one. So these are called as, the first one is two-tier architecture. This is nothing but your desktop application. And then this is browser-based application, right? Or web-based application. We'll discuss application architecture and application architecture in detail. What does the presentation layer made up of? What is the logic layer or application layer made up of? What is database layer made up of? We'll discuss the application architecture diagram in detail and performance testing life cycle, end-to-end performance testing life cycle, right? Wherein I will cover requirement gathering, test plan preparation, scripting, executions, and and reporting, preparing a final report, and all this end-to-end performance testing life cycle, and some basics like HTTP request response cycle, XML and JSON. So I'll cover all these performance testing fundamentals in the first 10 to 15 hours. HTTP request response cycle, response codes, HTTP response codes, HTTP request methods like put, get method, post method, put, delete, patch, and all these, right? And why do we need to, why do we need a tool for doing load testing? Why can't we do it manually? And what is the architecture of the tool? All these concepts will be covered in the first 10 to 15 hours. And what is the difference between authentication and authorization? Very important interview question, very important concept for both development and testing, software development and software testing as well, right? So authentication, what is the difference between authentication and authorization? Very important interview question as well. Clear? What is meant by load balancer? When we discuss this architecture, I will explain what is a load balancer. All these will take 5 to 10, 10 to 15 hours. And then we will start LoadRunner or JMeter tool. And I'm planning to split this into 2 batches. Like right now, one JMeter batch is going on, right? So around 20 people will join you from that batch. So I have one JMeter batch going on who directly joined JMeter. So from that batch, around 20 people will join you in this batch. Clear, guys? So already 15 people confirmed they're joining till now, plus 20, 35. We have 15 more seats left. 15 is the max capacity for my online batch. Clear, guys? So I will not take any admissions beyond 50. So please confirm your joining as soon as possible. So 20 to 25 people will join from my current JMeter batch. Once these performance testing fundamentals are completed, they will join for LoadRunner. They join JMeter directly. But once these performance testing fundamentals they are already covered, right? These performance testing fundamentals are already covered for them in the first 10 to 15 days, as you can see here. You see here, we started that batch on 2nd July, right? And it took around we started JMeter on this day, that is 1st August. It took around 15 days, more than 15 days to start JMeter. Clear, guys? So please confirm your joining as soon as possible. I will not take more than 50. All right. I'm stopping it here for today and we'll continue tomorrow. Okay. Also, planning classroom
Okay,
training
sure.
from this batch. Okay. We will be having classroom training as well. Okay. There will not be separate classroom training. So those will, some people will be joining online. Whoever are in remote location, they will be joining online. And those who want classroom training, they will be coming for offline training in hybrid. Clear, guys? And the advantage that you get with offline training is like you will have a lab coordinator, dedicated lab coordinator once we start scripting. Demo sessions I will be giving online. By that time, the batch size will be finalized and everyone will be confirming their joining by paying the fees. Once we have confirmed them members, like we will start, and by the time the tool starts, we will start classroom training. So do refer, your friends or relatives. So by this time you should have got an idea, like, any non-computers, non-IT guys can enter this performance testing career. And we do have a lot of openings. And I think I already shown in the demo session, like how many openings we have, isn't it? Right? So I have shown you, so in the last session, I have shown you how many openings we have, I have opened some couple of Naukri alert emails and I have shown you that, isn't it? So there are a lot of openings. Only thing is, we don't have enough number of worthful candidates. That is for sure. So refer your friends or relatives and get some good referral benefit. Okay. And those who joined today, please share your Gmail ID if you haven't shared it to me. Please ping me your Gmail ID separately to me on WhatsApp. And also please save my WhatsApp number, guys. One more thing, important thing. So otherwise you will not get notifications on these demo sessions. If there are any change in the timings or these you will not receive these notifications because, we are using a CRM application for sending them. Right? I cannot ping everyone separately, isn't it? So please save my WhatsApp number, then only you will receive my notifications on WhatsApp. And subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't subscribed. Clear, guys? Please save my WhatsApp number, that is important. All right. I'm stopping it here for today and we'll continue tomorrow, guys.